The experience of near death is really a subjective experience, but over the period, lot of research has went into it. What happens at the point of death or after death, whether we really exist or not, what type of experience one undergoes. As of today, there is no means to die and come back and tell what the life after death. You may experience this in meditation, that is a different subject. But to die and come back and narrate what has happened is not possible. Then, with the help of near-death experience, we can get a glimpse of what may be happening during this transitory period. We are losing this physical body, control of the physical body, and moving into different realm, different level of understanding, different level of existence, astral world, whatever you may call it. Now, so those who are at the point of death, who are clinically declared dead, when they come back to the life, within that span, whatever the experience they get, and in a position to recollect the same, and when they tell their experience, that experience is called near-death experience. Let me make it very clear. Each and every person who goes to that stage of near-death experience or has come back from the clinical death, all will not get the near-death experience. Let me start with the near-death experience. Dr. Raymond Moody is the father of the concept of near-death experience. He coined the word near-death experience. What is this near-death experience? What you get in that experience? That is very interesting. I will tell you one by one. During 1975, Dr. Raymond Moody interviewed around 115 persons who have encountered the clinical death. They are adjudged, declared clinically dead by the doctor attending them. And within some 5 to 10, in some cases 20 minutes, the person who is pronounced dead clinically has come back to life. The subject which Dr. Raymond Moody studied can be classified, grouped under 3 categories. Category number 1, those in the hospital under cardiac arrest, they have been revived, resuscitated. Number 2, those persons met with non-life threatening accidents, illnesses, under severe stress, almost they are on the verge of dying. And thirdly, the person who experienced near-death experiences at the point of death narrated to the person sitting by their side and subsequently then leaving the body. So these were the broad 3 categories of the subjects which Dr. Raymond Moody interviewed and has conducted his studies. While doing so, Dr. Moody has taken into account the psychological, physiological, pharmacological and neurological aspects and listed the experience of these people as a common experience which one encounters when he experiences near-death experience at the point of death, clinical death, and he has given the list. I am only telling you in my language and making it simple to you to understand. First is, with great physical distress, he hears that doctor pronounce him dead. Number 2, he hears a loud buzzing sound, humming sound, vibrating sound, कानामध्ये गुंजणारा आवाज is heard by the person who is on the verge of dying. He sees his physical body lying down and he observes the same from the distance. His body is floating, his consciousness is floating. Next, he finds he meets the dead relatives. They talk and he is happy in their company. Sometimes they meet the spiritual masters, divine souls, and they feel they are going through dark light. They are entering into a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel there is a bright light. They are with their subtle bodies, that is floating bodies, are trying to enter into that light, passing through that tunnel. The life review, whatever has happened, within that small fraction of the time gets rewinded. सगळा जीवनपट चलचित्रासारखा क्षणाभरातून त्यांच्या समोर येतो minutest details they see. And they are feeling happy, hearing the sound, in the company of the light, meeting the dead relatives, feeling wholeness, and they don't want to return to the bodies. Suddenly something happens. They are pulled towards the earth, the bodies, and they are resuscitated, they are revived, they come back to life. They were reluctant to come, and those who had this experience, it is observed that their life has dramatically changed. Though it appears to be a subjective experience, that experience is so vivid, जणू काही प्रत्यक्ष घडलेला आहे असा जिवंत अनुभव त्या मृत्यू समीप प्रत्येकाला आलेला असतो. Their attitude towards the life is changed. The fear of death is receded in their life. They are not afraid of death because they have seen the death, what is behind and after death. The glimpse they have got it. So transformation has taken place. Now, what is clinical death? Clinical death, in medical term, is cessation of blood circulation and breathing. Cessation of two vital functions, breathing and blood circulation, which are necessary to sustain the life. So, when heart stops pumping, circulation also stops and there is no breathing. When heart stops pumping, naturally there is no supply of blood or oxygen to your brain, and within few seconds or minutes the death is there of the brain also. Now, so clinical death, pupils dilate, no pulse. Clinically, if you examine the person, there is no pulse, there is no heartbeats, there is no movement, nothing is there. Doctor declares the person dead. But in rarest of rare, after the heart has stopped, automatically he will not be revived. With advancement of science, medical technology, particularly in case of cardiac arrest, heart has stopped, cardiac arrest means it is a clinical death. But CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or advanced life-saving procedures, with this it is possible to revive the functioning of the heart. There is a time limit, not after 1 hour, 2 hours. Within that 5-10 minutes, you can revive the patient. And the patient who has experienced during the period of clinical death and patient brought to the life, that period, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it may be, whatever the experience one get is the near-death experience, almost dead. Clinical death is a death. But with the advancement of science, medical science, it has become imperative to redefine what is death. So somewhere in 1983, in United States, their medical council and bar council together they worked out a definition of death, and an act was passed, Unified Declaration of Death Act. And what is that definition of death? Definition of the death is irrevocable cessation of circulatory and respiratory function. Okay. Second, irrevocable cessation of functions of entire brain, including brainstem. Then the person is declared dead. Particularly, a patient is in coma or in vegetation stage. Part of the brain is functioning. Respiration, etc. is going on. So, to pronounce a person dead, irrevocable cessation of circulatory and breathing function and irrevocable cessation of the functions of entire brain are the criteria. Then further, few years back, the World Health Organization has also appointed a committee. What is the criteria for determining death? This is mainly because nowadays organ donation and other issues are there. So again medico-legal definition of death has come into being. Resuscitation cases, medical wonders we see, everything happens, and that's why the death has been redefined, revisited, and person who is clinically dead, ECG straight line, heart stop functioning, and when such persons are revived, during that span, if they experience away from the body, they see they are dead, they are traveling to the certain other levels of existence, meeting the dead people, meeting some spiritual masters, seeing the dark, black light, and during that, beyond that light, darkness, there is a light, and he tries to go into the light. The person is resuscitated. He come back to the life, and he is reluctant to come. And those who have had this type of near-death experience, there is a transformation. There is a sea change in their attitude towards life. They are more contented, more happy, more relaxed, more divine in nature. These things happen. Unless and until we have got a clarity on that, this subject of near-death experience is such a vast, such a interesting also, and unless and until certain basics are not clear in your mind, you will not enjoy the depth of the subject. You will not enjoy the beauty of the subject. You will not understand the dimensions of the subject. So, I will be little bit explaining to you certain finer points, certain tricky issues connected with it. Then only you will understand the subject. You will grasp the subject. You will digest. You will assimilate what the subjects offer to you. Yogananda Paramahamsa died on 7th of March 1952 in Biltmore Hotel, Los Angeles, California, in United States. He was in that banquet hall. He died with a cardiac arrest. He has earlier told to the self-realized fellows that, see, even after my physical death, I shall be connected, will be connecting the physical body for 21 days. I shall be in connection with the physical body for 21 days even after death. So his body was kept under observation from 11th of March to 27th of March 1952, and there is a notarized certificate given by Henry T. Rowe, the mortuary director, Forest Lawn Memorial Park. This notarized certificate is there, I think not in the book Autobiography of Yogi, but another book which I got, the Divine Romance, in that book it is given. And what is mentioned in that certificate? Certificate says, during this period of observation, the body was kept in brass casket. Certificate says that there is no visible sign of decay of the body, that it is mentioned there, phenomenal state of immutability. What is immutability? Frog remains as a frog. Bodies remain as it was at the time of death. The absence of any visible signs on the body of decay, then no signs of disintegration of the body, decomposition of the body, perfect state of preservation. And it says that this experience was unparalleled. We have never experienced such type of thing. So what it is that Yogananda Paramahamsa body, even after his death for 21 days, was in perfect condition. Now, why I have told you a story? It is for a purpose. It is connected with our topic. If you are from the medical field or otherwise also, we know immediately after death, body starts decaying, decomposition of the body starts. Within first few hours, there is a livor mortis, means when a person is dead, the position at the time of dying, if he is sleeping, then all the blood through gravity will come down, and at that stage the body will be of red color, livor mortis. Then algor mortis means our body's normal temperature is 98.5 degree Fahrenheit. When a person is dead, slowly the temperature drops and the body acquires the temperature of the environment around. That is called algor mortis. And third, rigor mortis means body become rigid. That's why when a person is dead, you tie the thumb of his both the legs, hands also, close the eyes, because after certain times body becomes very rigid. Now his Yogananda Paramahansa body was kept in the morgue from 11th of March. From 7th to 11 it was in that condition. So all these things should have been there. Livor mortis, algor mortis and rigor mortis. You know, when a person is dead, 1 or 2 hours, there is a smell. You use adicolon or gulab pani or something like that, saying just to agarbatti, because there is a smell. And after say 3 or 5 days, there is a bloat, B-L-O-A-T, means blood start coming from the mouth, from the nose, and after 5-6 days, the color from red to blue to green of the body changes. Now, when this is the ordinary process of decomposition of the body, Paramahansa Yogananda body was in perfect condition. Why it is so? There is a concept of silver cord connection. Theosophy has introduced this concept, but it was there earlier also. Our body, gross physical body, then there is a subtle body, Sukshma Deha, and also a Karana Deha, causal body. Theosophy says gross physical body, etheric or pranic body, Vasanamay Deha means astral body, Manomay body, intellect body. Like that they are having 7 different bodies. Now, this astral body, Vasanamay Deha, is also related to your mind, and the gross physical body and the subtle body is connected with a thread called silver cord. So long as that silver cord connection is there, it is possible to revive the person. Once that silver cord connection is snapped permanently, there is no possibility of resuscitation, no cardiopulmonary resuscitation shall take place. From a yogic perspective, just understand important thing. There are pancha prana, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, all these things you know. There is 5 upaprana. Of that, last one is Dhananjay prana. When Dhananjay prana leaves the body, the decomposition of the body starts. So this is from this point of view, yogi can have developed, acquired through yogic practices the power to connect with the physical body even after the death. And now comes this astral body. This astral body can travel to the different levels of existence. We live in the three-dimensional world, but there are different dimensions do exist with the three-dimensional world, and the astral body can travel to these levels of existence. Now, generally, this astral travel is experienced in deep sleep. In dream, there is an astral travel taking place, and so also in deep meditation, different stages of samadhi, you can experience astral travel. During meditation, in samadhi, one can experience astral travel. Dr. P.V. Vartak from Pune has done the experiment of astral travel with the Linga Deha. He traveled to the planet Mars on 10th of August 1975, and he published his 21 observation with his astral travel on the Mars. And when the spacecraft Viking 1 landed on Mars around 1 year time, that is on 21st July 1976, out of this 21 observation, 20 observations were corroborated with the observations of Dr. P.V. Vartak. So it is possible in samadhi you can travel to the different levels of existence. You get the knowledge of these levels of existence. Helen Keller, a blind and deaf lady, very famous, died somewhere 1968. She, at the age of 19 months, became blind due to the meningitis infection and infection at the stomach, blind and deaf. She was the first lady to be graduated from Harvard University. And in her book, My Religion, she has mentioned her astral travel to Athens. Very important. She was blind. Astral travel to Athens. There is an English movie, Miracle Worker. Based on that, there is a Hindi film, Black, based on her life. If you can, for additional information, go through. What I want to drive the point is, even a person blind, at the age of 19 months she became blind. but she had this experience. P.V. Vartak has experience in Samadhi for astral travel. So now I will be discussing with you very important aspect of what is astral travel and how one has to make a demarcation, distinction with the near-death experience. Near-death experience is experience at the point of death. Person clinically declared dead. He is resuscitated, he comes back to life and he narrates his experience. That is coming under near-death experience. A person in a dream, person in meditation can experience astral travel. Now, having told you what happens when one encounters, get the experience related to near death, floating of the body is the most common. That is also called as out of body experience. So near death experience includes out of body experience. So let me little bit elaborate about what is that out of body experience. When the consciousness is floating away from the physical body, consciousness is at different location and from that location it is viewing. That is out of body. And these out of body experiences many a times are spontaneous. First, understand sleep. When you are about to go asleep, go into the deep sleep, at that time or at the time you are being awakened, the process of getting awakened from the sleep or going into deep sleep, within that period one may get spontaneous out of body experience. Sometimes your sleep is disturbed, noises are going on outside, that may trigger. But sleep paralysis is not the cause for the near-death, the out-of-body experience, spontaneous out-of-body experience. Secondly, during meditation, during different levels of samadhi, one may feel, one may get the experience of floating outside the body and traveling to the astral world. So, it happens during meditation. Physical efforts. When we find efforts means you are following certain exertions and you are relaxed from that, you may get the out of body experience in a sleep, something like that. For example, your daughter's marriage is there, last 15 days, 1 month, you are doing lot of exertion for that marriage to be successful, celebrated, all the people are attending, etc., etc. When the marriage is over, you are little bit relaxed out of that exertion. That may trigger spontaneous out of body experience. Next category of the experience is that you will find that non-life threatening out of body experience, something accident you have met with, you are suffocating, you have been dragged into the water, non-life threatening situations. Anesthesia is given or hypnosis is done, then you may, and sometimes it is drug induced. What are the drugs? Hallucinogenic drug. These drugs, DMT, MDA, LSD, ketamine, all these drugs may trigger, induce out of body experience. Then other two causes for out of body experience, let me share to you for academic interest only. When extreme G-force are encountered, the blood can partially drain from some parts of the brain that may trigger, induce out of body experience. And another is, in normal flights, the pilot may experience odd sensory experience. They are referred collectively as spatial disorientation, SD, and that can also be cause for out of body experience. But if this happens when the pilot is on the job, it may be dangerous. Just for information, I have given to you. Let me tell you the slight difference. It is not slight, it is a major difference between autoscopic experience and out of body experience. Autoscopic experience is psychic illusion. Visual experience, that is the perception of the image of oneself or duplicate of the body of oneself. That image is seen, particularly when one is under the influence of alcohol. He sees his duplicate image and he talks with that image. That is autoscopic experience. And out of body experience is consciousness is away from the physical body. This you are seeing two different bodies of your own self. This is psychic illusion. Never get confused this with out of body. Now I will talk about astral travel and astral projection. Astral travel is an ancient concept and it has occurred in multiple cultures. When astral body travels, it is called astral travel. The astral body in astral travel travels to astral lok or astral world. Now, This astral body, as I already explained to you, is a Vasana Deha. It is the Sukshma Deha, Linga Deha, subtle body. And that subtle body travels in astral travel to the astral world. 19th century theosophy, Helena Blavatsky term astral travel as astral projection. When we say astral travel happens in the dream, in the sleep, or in meditation. But when you say astral projection, it is intentional effort for traveling the astral body or taking the astral body away from the physical body. When you say projection means you are projecting your desires, your impulse. Projecting means unconsciously taking up unwanted emotion, means wantedly, consciously taking wanted emotion. A film, movie is projected on the screen. In the same way, astral world is projected on your mind screen. It may create a confusion. Recently, I have seen an ad in the social media. As I told you, astral projection is now marketed as a spiritual practice. There are many workshops are conducted for astral projection, seminars are held. It is a big industry. That advertisement says. What it says? It says ultimate course for astral travel. It further says highest rated diploma course for astral projection. Early bird discount. I have nothing. It's okay. The ad further says that we train you to become astral warriors. Further it says that we take you to the astral realm individually or with your friends. Next it says it protects you from the dark energy. And last was, you may say it is a catchy or inviting the people to join the course. It says, very interesting, enjoy mind-blowing astral sex. I was little surprised. What is this astral sex? They say that out of body sex without contacting other soul. Out of body sex without contacting other soul. No procreation. No STD, means sexually transmitted disease. if that is what is astral projection in modern times, marketed as a spiritual practice, Helena Blavatsky must be thinking what the people have made of astral projection. So, a little bit caution to all of you. Don't be carried away by such invitation. Astral travel is not that easy. Like you are taking a virtual tour, it is your mind goes for astral journey. You are sitting here only. Your consciousness is not traveling anywhere. It is your just mind journey. So be aware of this. This is only I want to make you aware. After covering near-death experience, out-of-body experience, clinical death, silver cord connection, and astral projection, I stop here. See you in the next video, near-death experience.